Good morning. Let's see who we got in the chat.
The things you do for marriage, right?
I know, right? Hold on.
What do you mean you're
Let's
right?
see.
Do you see yourself? We're
Oh my
this
God.
close to the road.
Good morning, KCB. How are you? I know you said you were going to set your alarm because you missed us. We missed you too. Let's see if you're here.
You can back that up.
You could back that up.
Down
Okay.
my chest.
You gotta go. Hold on. We're streaming from our phone, so we gotta figure this out. Let's see who we got in
Morning.
Here. Good morning, Lucky. How are you? Is this the new format without StreamYard? Mr. Ken's Legend, you are correct. Can you look at the chat so I don't have to keep going through the phone? Hello.
I'm getting there, sweetheart. I have to see if I have internet connection.
Late. If I have internet, you should have internet.
Oh, well, we've discovered that's not necessarily true.
Okay, good morning, Uncle Ed. How are you? I know you were busy at work. I seen your tool cart picture. Organized Chaos. Good morning, Craig. MCM Engineering. We've been talking a little bit on Instagram. Hope all is well. Mr. Jason Hughes, how are you? Mondo Mowers. What's up, Mondo? How are you? How you guys doing in Jersey with this hurricane? Oh, thank you. Yeah, we're outside. This is our outside weather. And since we're in a
Is there a reason you didn't
crisis,
try the back deck? You put us at the end of the driveway?
Well,
I'm just asking.
Well, we had service out here when we did live, so I didn't want to try and do it in the backyard if we didn't have service.
So put us at the end of the driveway.
Sticking with what we know.
Can I put a for sale sign on you and see what happens?
Let's put a for sale sign on the house.
Let's put a for sale sign on you and the cyclone. What happens? I bet we'll get a lot further.
Good morning, Mark. How are you? So, all right. So, how is everybody doing? What is the name of our hurricane?
Go ahead, genius. Pronounce it.
I don't know.
So far, I've yet to find one YouTuber who's actually said it or actually spelled it right.
How do you say it?
No, I'd like somebody to spell it right in the chat. I'm so waiting. It's amazing. Like people tagging this particular storm and like not even spelling it right.
Have I been spelling it right?
Actually, you have. You have.
So how do you say it?
People are spelling it with the first incorrect wrong letter.
Well, probably autocorrect fixes it for them, and that's very difficult. So how do you say it?
Get back to the chat.
How do you say it?
Come on.
Say it.
No.
How do you say it?
Go.
I don't even know what the name of this hurricane is. Hurricane blah.
It's going to be Hurricane Mama Not Happy if internet's not back on by Monday so I can get back to doing work.
Good morning, Tech Sparky. How are you? All right, yeah, so Mondo, they were saying people are supposed to, over 500,000 people are without power. And I think now they just lowered it to like 250-ish. And they were giving people commitment times 2 to 3 days. And now they're putting it out for at least a week. So it's pretty hectic. People are really on the fritz here.
Oh, it's the usual hierarchy of everybody passing off the buck to the next person. Now
Good morning, Mr. McDonald. How are you?
Fios and Optimum have pushed it off now as being a PSEG problem. PSEG's passed it off to being the town's problem. The town's passed it off to being their first grade teacher's problem. It's so ridiculous. It's like, bottom line is nobody can do their job. And then everybody wants to say it's not safe. Okay, the people who are supposed to remove the trees now are saying it's not safe. Are we waiting for God to come down and do it? Like somebody's got to start doing the job. Like, give me a break. Like,
so this
how
is the
about
problem.
homeowners get out and start doing some work?
This is
like,
the problem.
You see
right
homeowners pulling on trees at the end of a road. Like,
Yeah.
that is not how you go removing and cleaning up your
So
yard.
that
like,
is
give
one of
me a break.
that is one of the biggest problems. Mr. Mega Dirty Birdie, how are you? This is one of the problems. It's lazy and irresponsible homeowners. Right?
Absolutely.
The way that these people are treating and talking to some of the people, including myself, is absolutely mind-blowing. Okay? So there are certain trees in your property that are the town's responsibility and that are not. Good morning, Mick. How are you? Hope all is well. Okay? So the town is responsible for those trees. So the town is coming out now and they've hired outside help to take care of these trees that are actually on the road. Once these trees are off the road, then the electric company, whoever company wants to come in and take care of the power lines or cable lines, can do that. Now, obviously, there's also so much time in a day. But now you have lazy and irresponsible homeowners, like our neighbor who we caught, in a different aspect, right? They're taking their tree limbs and all their other stuff that fell and dragging it back into the street. So when the
Oh.
town labels that it's okay to go and fix, now it's not. So now they have to, reconfigure and go someplace else. So a lot of these homeowners are their own worst enemy.
Or you have to love the other day when I'm out here for about almost 3 hours myself cleaning up, and I'm out on the deck blowing and removing branches and everything.
Yeah.
And then I have my back neighbor who thought he was oh so clever to come out in his Dockers and a polo shirt and start backpack blowing and throwing limbs over our fence.
But that's the second time we caught him.
Well, he was in for a surprise when I took my backpack blower. And you know how like water collects with the leaves? I put my nozzle on an upward turn, and he was a little surprised when he got sprayed with dirty water and leaves up over the fence. He looked at me like, how dare I? How dare you throw limbs over someone else's fence now for the second time?
Yeah, we caught him the first time.
His pink polo shirt was doo-doo brown by the time I was done with it.
Yeah.
Like, do your part. You want to own some property? Clean up your damn property.
That also shows you what a lack of a backyard we have, where she could blow stuff off our deck and hit our neighbor. So, I mean, it is what it is. Work has been, okay. We lost power at work for maybe like a half hour, and then everything's back together. We have internet at work. Here at home, we don't lose power. We really don't. If anything, we have like a blip of power, and then a blip of where the power goes down, and it comes back up. And it happened when I was at work, and we lost our air conditioner. But when I came home, I don't know how or why, I ended up popping a circuit breaker. So flip the switch, and we're good to go.
Guess who's good at electrical now? Broke his fear.
Yeah, okay.
Chris's small engines. You know what? That would be the best solution to the problem, to have underground
She's handling the
lines.
shot. Yep. Oh,
But you
okay.
want to know something, Chris? You know the likely story behind that. That would be the easiest solution. Yes, it would be time involving at first, but let's be realistic. Nobody's going to do underground lines.
So the reason why
that
we
would
do
be how many jobs
so the
that
reason
we wouldn't have.
So the
Come
reason why we
on.
don't have underground lines is because most likely that we are
Job
an
security.
island. No, that we are an island,
Yeah.
and we are prone to flooding. And during Hurricane Sandy, look what happened to the city. They had to rip everything up for testing continuity, what broke, what this and that. So unfortunately, we cannot have underground
But Jason,
lines
do you
here
know how many
unless
states
technology
that are deeper
improves.
in don't have underground lines?
Okay.
It's not just islands, honey.
I know we're talking about us, but I don't care what
I
other
know,
states
but
do.
let's probe further. This is job security and at its finest. This United States as a whole will never go underground lines. Like, let's be honest, everything is job security. That's what it boils down to. Not trying to take anyone's jobs away, but that's what the bottom line is.
Yeah,
Everything is job security.
So we can't have underground lines. It's a bad idea. Bad idea here. But we used to have a nuclear power plant, and like someone was ranting and raving to me about nuclear power in our homes, and I'm like, leave me the F alone. I just want to fix your generator, and I want to get the hell out of here. So
Ken was saying that people were demanding that they
yes, it is
power, demanding fixing the generators.
Yeah, so it is the same way here. Non-stop busy, but a good busy. Okay, so I've been actually even repairing generators at work. So I've been double dipping, but that's just the way it works out. So there is no secret that I do small engine work. So some of the customers that I do have come from my job. Not that I work with them, but I work for them. So people have been dropping off their generators at work, and as a courtesy, I've been fixing them. But when it does something like that, not only do me and Mrs. Pat Taste with Form benefits, the guys at my job benefit as well. So without internet, I've been trying to post pictures and short little videos about what it's like to work in the middle of this as best as I can. So hopefully you guys get, a glimpse of that. What you guys don't get a glimpse of is when you're fixing a generator and you have a group of people standing over your back. Now, when I go live on my road calls for work, I says no matter what the road call is, I always have this knot in my stomach. Take that and times that by like 1,000, right? Talk about my chest caving in, you know, and you have like groups of people watching you, because it's not only you're fixing their generator, the neighbors are waiting too, because that person's very nice enough to say, hey, listen, man, throw an extension cord and I'll hook you up. And so now all these people have power. Yeah, no one stands over my back. Think of it's being...
Yeah.
Well, Mick, you are correct. But, you know, I'm working in the field, so all these generators are down on the ground. So I'm getting down and dirty and working on their generator.
That was the first tree removal truck that I've seen go by since Tuesday.
So, you know,
Nice.
it's pretty, I've been getting a good workout. So a lot of people, very common, very, very common, leave gas, which is fine. The tanks, I don't know why nowadays, I've been working on brand new generators. I mean, I thought you had some.
Yeah.
We're outdoors. Our backdrop is our yard. So,
Guarantee we had reception on the deck, but next time. Let's hope there's not going to have to be a next time.
yeah, I know, right? So, where was I? All right, so a lot of these tanks are made of metal, which I think is ridiculous. I don't know why they're made out of plastic. So a lot of these tanks are rusty. So what I've been doing is I've been rummaging rocks from their property and throwing them in the tank and filling it up with dirt and, you know, shaking it. I'm going to shake you guys, right? Up, down,
Oh, let's get
and
everybody
side
nauseous.
to side.
Vomit bags are free.
And doing that over and over and over again, okay? I have other things to do. So I only do that maybe 5 or 6 times, and that's it. I got to go on to the next one. So I keep telling people, like, listen, this is what's in your tank. Okay, this is the best I could do. Whatever you do, do not run your generator out of gas. If it runs out of gas, you run the risk of sucking everything out and blocking it again.
What do they do?
You are going to have to pay me to do this all over again. And it's been a couple of troubled times with that. And I've also had one where when I go there for a repair, right, I also try and sell a service, right? Generator's been sitting for 5 or 6 years. You need this thing to last till you guys get power. So not only do you sell the repair, you sell the service. Change the oil, re-gap the spark plug. I don't keep air filters in stock for generators, but for the most part, they're clean, so that's an extra charge. So one guy didn't want to spend the extra money to have his generator service. So guess who called me and said the generator isn't working anymore? Okay, go over there. And guess what happened? He blew a hole through the hole, I'm sorry. He blew a rod through the side of his block. So guess who's out of power? Guess who doesn't have a generator? And guess who looks like a complete you-know-what? Because he didn't want to spend the extra money for oil. Could be, right? You know, the rod can go through the block for a multitude of reasons, but if he would have had fresh oil, who would have known how long that's going to be?
You thirsty?
No, I'm good, thank you.
You've been talking a lot.
So I think for the past maybe 3 or 4 days, generators and chainsaws have been sold out. There are rumors that there are deliveries of them coming back in, so who knows? Who knows?
I love
Yes.
passing by like a Home Depot or a Lowe's in the last couple of days though, when you see like everybody's trucks loaded up and they're done using their generator, and like now it's like, let's return it.
Yeah, I don't think they're accepting
And
returns.
I know that the Home Depot by us a couple years ago, there is now a policy where they are not taking them back. And Ken, if you're in the chat, tell me, because I know you've got a connection with Home Depot people, are Connecticut ones taking them back? Because I know ours here on Long Island are not taking them back anymore.
Yeah, we could do that. Perfect, sorry.
Is your arm hurting you?
Yeah, I gotta do
Do
everything.
you want me to rub it?
No. Hold on. We're fixing our angle. So, we have a generator. It's a diesel-powered Yanmar generator. I don't even know how much power it puts out. But I actually found that in the garbage, 2-3 years ago? And the guy was really, really nice enough to give me the parts that he took out that needed to be replaced in a bag. And I never thought of repairing it. 1, because we never lose power. And 2, I wanted to have a diesel-powered snowblower. But after today, this past storm, I think I'm gonna, repair it and, just have it, for...
Yeah.
Who knows?
Ken
Who knows?
said only unused. Now, I don't know what Lowe's policy is, but I've got to imagine they've got to be following the same general policy. Like once it's used, no, 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 no. And all these trucks that you see pulling into Home Depot and Lowe's, these boxes are open for these generators, and these generators are like out of the box. So you know
Yeah.
they're trying to return them after they've been used. So
So Mega Dirty,
sneaky,
so
sneaky.
Mega Dirty Birdie, I don't know if you're referring to the Yanmar that we have, but I do know that I think it's a 10 horsepower engine, and I was pretty disappointed in the size. I thought it'd be more, but I'll take a look in the garage. It's buried in the back because I never knew, we were gonna ever plan on using it. The guy who we purchased our home from, he has one of those switch boxes where if you lose power, you hook up your generator, flick the main power off, and then you go to generator power, okay? And, when we spoke to the neighbors about it, they says we never lose power. We have no idea why he would do that. So, okay.
Yeah. So
So,
we live what they consider like a hospital grid. So where our home is located, there is it's basically broken up into grids like any neighborhood would be. So basically, this particular area, according to the patch of houses that we're in, they've never fully, knock on wood, they've never lost power in like something like it was like 15 to 20 years. So if they do, it's on and off because of the hospital grid power lines that they're sourced from. So we'll ride with it, but I do think it would be worth it,
yeah, just to have.
just to have.
My sister was without power for a couple of days, and it would have been nice to be like, all right, listen, you guys without power, here's a generator, and call it a day. They actually have solar, and we were talking to them yesterday, and they said that they were looking into getting a power cell, and they weren't interested in having a generator. And I'm like, I think there was just we didn't want to give you one. I'm not giving you my generator. I'm not giving my diesel power generator, but I'm going to give you, but you could, if anything ever happens, you guys could have it. Due to COVID and everything going on, we're social distancing, so we're not trying to have, people at our house.
Yeah, we've got
I just don't want to be, we've spoken about this before.
And we just got a pretty horrible phone call yesterday, and there's going to be a meeting on Monday. Things are only going to get tighter around here, as far as with the possibility of how they're going to possibly open schools around here. I don't think the family is aware how things are going to be changing for us around here. The socially distancing piece for us is going to be continuing for quite some time, and that's been a decision we both made to keep everybody safe. I'm going to be exposed to a lot more, and as he's been, so now we only had him before, we're going to have me now as well.
But now
it's just not safe.
But now,
it's just not safe.
But now, I can't. I can't think of the proper term. But it's funny. It's not funny, but it's funny now that with this, Mick called it a second wave coming. My job has put signs all over. Even if you're coming in for us just to get diesel for your truck, not even for service or anything, you have to have a mask on. No mask, no diesel. Which has been pretty wild, I think. You're in your truck, you don't need to, it is what it is, right? So now there's signs all over, mask. And then now they put out another sign for us workers. If you have these symptoms, you have to see management. And what I think is like mind-blowing is like, I kind of turned off social media to COVID for a multitude of reasons, right? But there's like, if you're tired, well, half of us come to work tired. If you're sore, half of us come to work sore. If you're experiencing bathroom problems, how many guys eat food on the road, and guess what you get when you have food on the road,
Yeah.
And there's a couple other ones where it's just very general and broad, and it's just like, so every day we have to come in and, some of the guys like to break my balls, you know what, and say, hey, listen, this is what's going on. And then he has to make the call, do you stay in work or do you go home and get checked? So
I'm not permitted yet because we haven't met as a district on it yet. But basically, at the end of the day, you know, we're going to be doing either weekly or bi-weekly COVID testing, him and I. And things are going to be very, very different around our household. And we haven't been eating out or anything. That is going to be having to continue. And we're going to have to be very careful of who comes to our house. Because now I am going into a workplace potentially where we're going to have to contact trace who I'm in contact with, who comes to my home and who I'm sharing with. So if we were careful before, I've got to be extremely careful moving forward. So, you know, Mick, it's like everything you were saying, like in mixing, you know, second wave, you know, coming. So
Yeah, it's coming, unfortunately, but it is what it is.
But Chris and Ken and all you guys that are saying like Craigslist generators, amen. You know,
Yeah.
If anybody's looking, I'm sure you'll find one on Craigslist coming up soon.
So we've sold maybe like a handful of generators at Pat Taste Performance from
somebody getting a delivery
from beginning to end. I think we sold. I could probably think on our hands maybe 3 to 4. And now I'm thinking, because of what happened now, like I think we're probably gonna try and scoop up, you know, a generator or 2 just to keep and flip. I mean, it is what it is. I do have, after when things get better, I do have one customer who wants to convert his gas-powered generator to, excuse us,
couldn't be better.
I know, right? To propane or a tri-fuel. And he wants to convert it to electric start too. So if you guys, I'm not sure if I posted it on Instagram or on the community page, but it's like the West. No, it's not the Western Star. It's the North. It's the North Star. The white one with the Honda GX 270 or 290. So I looked at his generator. It does have. It can accommodate an electric start. I think the kit for an electric start is like 127, 150 bucks. You know, we were watching a show. Yeah, I know. I think it's like 150 bucks. And then I figured to try and keep the cost down, I think I kind of roughed it out. I can fit a lawnmower battery in there. So that's like 25, 30 bucks. And what's funny is the kit for propane, I think it's like less than 20 bucks off Amazon. It's the carburetor and looks like some doohickey. I don't work on a lot of generators, so I can't give you an honest. I may be reaching out to you guys for this one about how it goes. And then they also have a tri-fuel kit. It's $187 for a tri-fuel.
Ooh, what are we getting delivered next door?
I know. So I spoke to one of the guys at work who has a tri-fuel generator, and he had a gas power generator, and he was going to convert it to propane because obviously he wanted to eliminate gas. And what happened was, he said when he read the fine print of the propane generator, you have to get it started with gas and then switch it to propane. So he ended up selling the generator, and he got some tri-fuel generator. It's a no-name, but the last time he used it was 5 years ago. Jason telling his life story again. Mrs. Pat Taste Performance.
I'm sorry, I'm being a little nosy. The neighbors are getting a delivery. Hold on. We'll show you. See.
Can we zoom? Oh yeah, we can zoom.
Okay, looks like they're getting a stove. LG's a good brand. Do you see the bodies walking? Oh. Guess that Corona relief check came in.
Can we see?
Oh.
Back out of your truck. What does that say? Range. Oh, they got a range. That's a stove.
Yes, honey. I I deciphered the language already there.
Can you guys see that?
Can you guys see?
That says range.
That's a range.
It's an
which
LG.
which Jason did the transversion of language for you. A range is a stove. Good job, honey.
Did you see what color it is? Is it stainless steel?
It's a stainless steel. Did anybody get to see? What else are they getting? Oh, we can't see anything else. All right, bring us back.
Bring us back.
Bring
Okay.
us back. Bring us back.
It was red.
Ooh, red's a saucy color. You're still in Zoom, aren't you?
No, I took it off. Yeah, so he said that you have to start the propane generator with gas and then switch it, go into the bushes.
Oh.
I could fit.
And Roger, yeah. So right now here in New York, the best part is our governor turned around and he left it on the school districts to open the schools and he turned around and told parents, as a parent, he would totally understand if you didn't feel safe sending your kids to school, but he's going to leave it up to school districts. And he told teachers that even though you should report to work as your contract tells you, he totally understands if you don't feel safe. And he said, any questions, refer to your federal government. So what do you see the political play that New York is trying to play here? So yeah, you know how that'll work, you know? Like, I can't speak too much more on it, but like, do the math. Like, Cuomo's been doing this forever. So at the end of the day, yeah, our lives here are gonna be completely drastically changing. But anywho, yeah, I think Jason wants to paint the wheels black. Could you imagine if they unloaded the stove and Jason went over there and painted the wheels black before they pulled it up to the front door?
What? The stove has wheels?
No.
He probably means the cart, the hand cart.
But imagine if Jason like painted the sides of the stove like matte black. She'd probably have a heart attack.
They already hate us.
They hate you.
But
They
as
don't hate me.
But as you guys could tell, the trees we put up to block them are growing in nice and thick. And that's how we like it.
Yes, Thomas, Jason's working on all things like ABCs and 1, 2, 3s, hence his ability to tell you that a range was a stove after we already deciphered that. Yes. Change the name COVID to Cuomo. You know what, Ken? 1,000%. This whole time Cuomo's been saying, none of this COVID situation is political. We need to stop making this political.
It is political.
This whole journey for him has been political. And then for him to tell parents and teachers, I totally understand if you don't feel safe, refer to your federal government. Like,
pushing the blame and responsibility.
Come on. But yet our federal government doesn't want to make a call. They don't want to fund us if we're not open. So please, but we're not going to go there. We're not going to go there.
So hot here, so having a pants day. Aww.
Aww. Aw, Jason goes without his pants all day too sometimes when it's hot. Do you mean like a pants day as in like no pants?
We've been hearing bad things about your mayor and governor.
You know, 100%. They're all true.
They're true.
They're all true.
They're all true.
You know what, Roger? There is no care for the children. There's no care for the teachers. Like, it's not about people here. That's the problem. That is the problem. Now I'm so, like, are they taking away the old stove, we think?
You know what? I have to look up Panama Jack. You guys brought this up.
Oh, like the suntan lotion. You do look like Panama Jack. Honey, you're not that, like, young. Like, you should know these things. You don't know who Panama Jack is?
I could have swore you guys said I looked like some wrestler. Remember you guys said I looked like some wrestler? I could have swore we looked him up.
I
and
think
he was
it
a
makes
wrestler.
him feel better thinking he looks like the wrestler. But you do look like Panama Jack, though, in the hat. And now, like, the black tee and the glasses.
Oh, you want to see my tea?
So, funny story about his tea.
I got a couple of good ones.
Morning. Funny tea. So he ordered these ridiculous shirts. The sayings were funny, right?
Did you see what Nick read?
Okay, hold on. So he orders these like teas with funny sayings off of like Facebook, And some of them were kind of funny.
You got to see one of them.
But they come to the
love
house,
it.
right? And he's so excited for these shirts, right? They came and he wasn't home yet. They were such, Jesus Christmas. They were such poor quality. Easy there, old man. They were such poor quality that, like, you know, when like the print on them, all you have to do is rub them and like the lettering and stuff is starting to come off. I'm like, babe, how are we supposed to even like hand wash these? And I don't even want to tell you what he probably paid for them. And then I held up the size, you know, it's like a men's large. It looks like I want to say like a little boy's large. I think they tried to buy like cheaper shirts to do the print on. There's like no way these are like men's larges. I think he got zhuked on his shirts. And we spent a fortune for like 3 things. So be wary when ordering t-shirts off of Facebook. Like, was it a pop-up ad you probably got that from?
No. This company called AAF, American as... You know what?
If it's not 9-line with the veterans, it ain't legit.
Hey, look at the chat. People are commenting.
Okay.
Jason, can wear any shirts in public? Any shirts in public? Yes, I can. Although one shirt someone might find offensive, but you guys will see that. I don't know if you guys.
Wait, go back. You're gonna you're messing. You're getting risky here. We barely have internet. Don't get too sure of yourself.
Jason is a mini match made for Randy Savage. Stavager Slim Jim.
Did you say you did not just say Savage?
All right, so Roger said our governor's doing a good job and still takes the heat. Roger, no matter what you do in life and how you go about it, there's always going to be somebody unhappy. You can never please anybody. You can never, ever.
You have good and bad. Like, look at Iowa's governor, right? He was told not to open up the schools. First day, opens up the schools, right? Entire building infested with COVID. Now they're shut down for like months. It's like, come on. Like, do the math, dude. Come on. It's not that hard. It's not that hard. People will be okay. Oh, they're done. So I guess we're just getting a stove. Our garbage men are gonna hate us because we have a ton of like bags out for like lawn pickup this week because we actually were the homeowners who like removed our debris. Yeah,
so I think I forgot what day we did our cleanup, but it's like we're under I don't know, crisis or emergency hours or whatever. Same thing with like a snowstorm. So as you guys know, we talk about noise ordinance here where we live. You can only make noise.
I bet they didn't clean the old oven, dirty dirt bags. It looks like they took the old oven with them. They just leave the boxes.
If our neighbors ever come across our channel, you gotta be careful.
They are tidy. Yeah,
because I help them. So anyway.
You don't help them inside their house.
No. What was I gonna say? All right, so let's go back to our storm damage. We don't know how bad we initially got hit with the storm. Get your bum over there and check.
They didn't leave.
Storm.
Here, Nick, most delivery services take the old appliances with them. We have things like Habitat for Humanity. Yeah. If it's decent enough, they'll bring it there.
Well, they do construction, so they probably scrap it themselves.
Or I wouldn't be surprised, like, they do construction, so they might be using it to, like, do a flip or something. You never know, so.
Mm-hmm. And hide the phone so we can see. They don't deserve.
When's breakfast?
They don't deserve anything.
Jason, you're talking about me.
No. Look what Mick wrote.
Oh. Phone. Oh. Okay.
They don't deserve anything. Anyway. All right, yeah, so we don't know how bad we got hit. So when we got hit with the storm...
Oh, I've heard about your Governor Wolf. My heart goes out to you, too.
She was home, obviously, and I was at work. So we took some measures preparing for the storm.
He doesn't like when I do clean up after storms because I totally raided his driveway.
So like what we did for work is we took stuff down, we put stuff away. So we have, we work on very tall trucks, obviously. So we have a thing called...
Taller than him, if you can believe that.
So we have a thing called like an aircraft ladder. So this is a ladder that we wheel around, and if someone comes in like, hey man, I need a light changed.
And he says, go, gadget, ladder.
I hate going on ladders. This aircraft ladder is like steps, and I love that. So we had to tilt it on its side, and then just little knickknacks here and there. We tied down to make sure nothing, would happen. So when we got hit with the storm, it was just like we had the garage door. We had the doors open because obviously there's no AC in the shop, and we lost like a light fixture from bouncing it back and forth. So then we had to shut the doors a little bit, and that was that. And then when I get home, she says there's no AC. So I just did like a quick walk around.
It just happened before you got home.
Good morning, Ashley. So I also did a quick walk around in the house. Listen, I wanted nothing on the grass in the front yard, because if something stays on the front yard, you can kill your grass. And
PSEG, woo! Get to work, boys. Finally.
And
notice they come out on Saturday. Overtime.
Yeah.
Overtime. Yay.
So
Gotta love it.
And the same thing with our hydrangeas, right? As you guys could see, I ripped out our hydrangeas, the dead ones I gave up. They're gone. The 5 that were dead, we ripped out. So I wanted to make sure that there was no branches and trees on there and there, because at $134 a pop, we better make sure there's no more.
Oh, tree come nice.
We better make sure that we're not going to have any more deaths in our flower bed. It's not happening. It's not going to happen.
See, now here was the troubling piece.
They were there, the cheap plant. Yeah. So listen, the funny part is that we got those 50% off, and I forgot how much we paid for them, but they weren't even half price. Wasn't half of $130. It is what it is.
I know what I want this next time around, though. I remember I have that whole list of that gentleman.
Oh.
I will say at Lowe's, I know the same at Home Depot, but I find more so, at least by us, at the Lowe's locations, when you go in the nursery department, by us, the gentlemen or ladies that work there have like real horticulture backgrounds, and the gentleman had just graduated, and he like gave me page upon page about hydrangeas, the kind we want, the kind that'll last the longest, and he actually has suggested that we shouldn't even yeah
with the recoil.
Yeah. He actually suggested that we don't even go to Home Depot or Lowe's for our hydrangeas. He gave us a place to go to, and then he gave us a free place that's connected to Columbia University to test the soil that it's going in.
Mm-hmm.
So it's great. You can send it away, and it was wonderful.
So I just did our initial, when I came home that day, I did our initial walk around. I got everything off the yard, and I got everything off the flower beds.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. PSEG, woo!
Yeah, but we have power. We need internet.
They have to fix the lines, and then Optimum can come out. It's a hierarchy. Were you
You're
listening
right.
to the beginning of the chat?
We were just talking about that. Lord have mercy.
He doesn't. You see what I'm dealing with here?
So I just threw everything. So I just threw everything out into the street, and then Namari says, "All right, listen."
Overtime.
So then also when I came home,
wow, it's like a three-ring circus today.
Yeah, I know, right? So then when I came home, I said, how's everything with the house? She says, listen, everything works, but the AC went out. So when we were outside looking, we didn't even have to say anything. Our neighbor was throwing tree limbs over his yard into our property.
He wasn't even being discreet the first couple times. It was like, it was almost like shot put, like back in track. Woo!
But we caught him. We caught him red-handed. It was so, I can't say awkward or just unbelievable or fathoming, that we literally locked eyes and there was no words to exchange, right? It was literally
the thing is, it's like he wasn't even trying to throw it where like a tree could have dropped it. It was like, nope, right over your fence.
We're on our back deck, and we're just looking, and he probably threw a couple of limbs till we finally like picked it up in our peripheral vision. And then when we locked eyes, it was like hello? Like we were both like in amazement.
And I think the days were over after I backpack blew him back from the deck. So we're done with those days.
So then I think like he gave us the look too, and he just kept going.
Yes, Roger, I agree.
But instead of throwing the tree limbs in our backyard property, he was throwing it on our other neighbors. So we're like, you know what? We're not getting involved. It is what it is. We're going to keep going. So, what happened? Oh, fuck them.
Can you stop?
So anyway, so then the next day we came out and we did our yard, and we did a little bit late because after work I've been doing generator repairs, and like I said, we have town noise ordinances, and that's you can't operate, you can't do certain things. He doesn't even take care of his lawn. Within a certain amount of time after that, then you can get a citation from the town, and it's just an ugly mess that you don't want to get yourself involved in. And due to COVID, they shortened it by 2 hours. So there's an hour in the morning they took away and an hour at night they took away. When it becomes due to an emergency, those times are thrown right out the window. So what time did we finish?
Almost 10:30 at night.
So 10:30 at night, I have a little, I don't know, I'll post that picture. See if I can post it. I don't remember what I post. But there's a picture of me and her in the middle of our cleanup. Oh, that's what happened. So listen, we tried vlogging.
Verizon, where's Optimum's truck?
Wow, 11 p.m. You're so lucky. We're at, it used to be 8, now we're at 7 p.m.
Well, he look where he's not here.
I know.
MC two wheels, I agree. I won't believe anything till I see a bucket go up.
So anyway, I just lost my train of thought.
They're probably just whizzing up and down the road to make people happy, like us fools who are like, woo! We'll probably see the same PSEG driver go up and down, up and down.
So we have. Can you connect your phone to your computer?
Yeah,
yes.
You can connect your phone. So you could do FaceTime. You could do all that jazz. But at the end of the day, like, it's just the internet connection is just not as solid as it is out here, bottom line. And I'll be honest, I really don't want my laptop out in the driveway. It's a personal thing. That laptop has got a lot of extra bells and whistles. I love him, but this is the best view you're getting out here.
So when we came home, I have a chipper vac where it could suck up leaves and also has like a little chipper attachment. So I took that out. I took our goat out. I took our billy goat out.
Oh, see, I'm swirling right now.
I took our backpack blower. It is what it is. Screw it. You know, like I said, they're supposed to be banned. I could care less. And I took out our chainsaw, but our chainsaw is battery powered. We haven't used that thing in 2 years. Guess what? Slammed the battery in that thing, and we were ripping and roaring. So what I was able to do with the chainsaw is break up the branches and tree limbs into a diameter or just in straight enough pads to go into our chipper and, you know, and shred it to bits. And then the ones that are kind of like crooked or nubby, I chopped them up so small that I could just put them in a garbage pail. So, you know, and then she was like, oh, can I start doing some weeding? I'm like, I don't care what you do. I says, no one will ever know whether we're doing a cleanup or we're doing some gardening in the middle. So, you know, we were out there. I think we ended up with like 5 or 6 bags, but we were nice enough where we texted, you know, the neighbors, the ones that we like.
His favorite ones.
My favorite
Winky,
ones.
winky.
Wink, wink. I said, hey, listen, you know, we're going to be out here with the machines and stuff like that.
Can I blow your sign? I'm sorry, I had to do it.
It did not go down like that. I do not use those words. They use those words.
In so many words or less.
Anyway, they weren't home.
Improvising.
They were in, where's the Poconos? The Poconos upstate or in Pennsylvania? They were in the Poconos.
Not in New York, honey.
Having all their fun with their friends.
It's Arch's garage.
Hey, Arch, how are you? Arch is here on Long Island as well. Arch, hope all is well.
I have got to catch up with you, like, on the side.
Why would you say that?
No, because, like, I'm so curious to see, like, my dad was a Grummanite, and so was my mom. And my mom worked nights, my dad worked days, and my dad worked on the fighter planes. Like, I want to see if you possibly would have remembered them.
So why don't you comment on his YouTube channel?
I want to talk privately, though. Just Arches and I.
I'll find him on Facebook and
I
you
get
can message him.
emotional when I talk about my mom. You know that. So, like, I want to just keep that private. Just want to see if he knows them. You probably know my dad, most likely. I would imagine so, but
I'm kind of lame with this tech.
I mean,
Uncle
my
Art says
dad,
too.
my dad's been out of there ever since they took off over Northrop. Like Northrop took over, but if you were with them for a long time, I'm sure. My dad started there when he was 18.
Hard to say, thousands of people. Yeah, it's a big company.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Yeah, so we were out till like 9:30. So we were out till like what, 10:30, 11 o'clock. We were running everything full blown. Even in pitch, like, you know, we had the house as light, and she bought me a Milwaukee light, so I was using the Milwaukee light too, and we did a pretty good job. But then the next day, goddamn neighbors put everything out to the curb again. It's like, you know what? Even though I didn't ask you, right? Because I don't care to ask for them. If you see me out there, just say something. Don't come out to the curb and put stuff, and then now we look like, you know, we got hit with a hurricane again. I try and keep things nice around here. Hello. So, I mean, it is what it is. So the noise ordinance right now is out the window. When we started our live, there was a landscaping company that was out here at like 7:30 in the morning. The reason why we do our live at 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. is 9 a.m. I could start making noise. So I could, if I don't have to go to work, I could start ripping and roaring and wrenching.
I make them a little breakfast.
But now
we get moving.
But now I can't do anything because we broke our camera.
It was an ambulance, Mega.
We broke our camera. I didn't say we. I'm sorry. I broke our camera.
You would just see my face. So in the middle of trying.
Hold us. Hold on. Let me show you this. What's up, Brandon?
So in the middle of trying to like do this big cleanup in our yard, I'm like knee deep in like shrubs and like tree limbs, and all of a sudden, he's the worst. He's not good like under pressure. Like he gets like real nervous and crazy. And all of a sudden he turns around and he comes in and he goes, he's holding the lens of the camera, and he goes, "What's the insurance policy on this?" I almost had a heart attack. I wanted to like throw it at him. Look what he did.
You're holding?
Go back to.
Or do you want to hold the camera?
I
or
don't.
Do you want to hold?
I really don't. I want you to go back to the setup you had because it worked. I'll hold this.
All right.
Why did you bring that? You really didn't need to bring that out, honey. What did you bring that out for? All right, so you hold. For?
All right, you ready?
Okay. What are you doing here? We're doing show and tell. Why did you bring
this
part?
This is garbage, so we could just put this on the ground.
But that's the part you want to show them that you hurt, right?
All right, so this is...
Don't drop this. I still need to send this.
This is our camera. It's a Canon
EOS
90D, right? I told you guys when we hit 1,000 subs, I would, make a very great effort to... Ooh,
oh, Jesus, Chris.
I would make a very good effort.
Don't drop this now. I'll hold this.
Yeah,
I'll hold this. There we go.
It would make a very good effort to give you guys a better quality video. One being sound. So Mrs. Pate's performance took some time because it was very exhausting trying to shop for a camera.
And hi, Brando in Louisiana today. And also Henry. It's good to see you this morning. Hi, honey.
Who?
Henry Murowski, my favorite.
Oh, hi, Henry.
My favorite Henry.
Stop it.
That is, I love him. He's a sweetie pie.
So this is our camera, right? This camera was about $1,200–1,300, just the camera, and we found out the hard way when we got the camera.
Okay,
and this is exactly what you saw. Then I don't want to give out the party end first. Then you had to buy a lens. This lens was like $650, $700, and attaches to the camera. That's when you know you get a serious equipment. Look what happened. You guys ready? 1, 2, 3. Can you guys see that in all its glory?
So now what I will say in all reality,
yeah,
do you see the part that's cracked?
That's shattered?
That is actually a screen protector.
Yes.
On top of his actual lens. So if you ever get a lens, purchase, this is by Tiffen, Tiffen. It was a phenomenal protector on the screen. It's just the way that he actually dropped it. It's almost like forged. It's onto the actual. Let me finish, please. It's onto the lens itself. So when speaking to the company that is insured by, will you stop? Oh my God! You did not take your meds today. So basically, what I said to them, based upon the insurance that we had, realistically, if you didn't have insurance, this could get popped off, and you could just bend this out and put a new protector on if you weren't insured. But being insured, we're gonna have this
Hey,
fully
getting
replaced.
glass all over me.
Oh, I would hate to get glass all over you now. That'd be terrible.
So I had the camera set up, and we were gonna start vlogging. You know, us doing the cleanup. You know, we have a battery-powered chainsaw, and it's absolutely phenomenal. It's so easy that she uses it.
His next camera is a Fisher Price. He just doesn't know it yet.
Didn't my parents give me a Fisher Price camera?
No, his parents, his mom bought over one time his little plastic chainsaw he played with when he was little, and we still have it downstairs. It's a little yellow one.
I could have swore the camera too.
No, I mean, unless I don't remember where I put it, but you do have a little plastic chainsaw.
So anyway, I had the camera set up on the tripod, and I was waiting for her to come out so we could start our vlog. I was just, had the chipper set up, put gas in to make sure everything was working, and then we were just going to go to town. It was just going to be an introduction, and then it was just going to be time-lapse just to see what's going on. What brand do you have? Roger, what are you talking about? The camera, the lens, or
Canon. The camera's a Canon, so is the
is the lens.
The lens is the EFS 18-135 millimeter.
Yeah.
And this one, just so you know, Roger, it's the Nano USM. There's a difference with the Nano USM.
Okay, can you guys see
Don't redrop it because they already have the original pictures.
So I put everything up on the tripod. I'm waiting for her to come out because she just can't come out on camera and do whatever. She has to.
Okay, first of all,
get
guys,
ready. I'm not putting blame on her.
I am not putting blame on her. Spent like hours cleaning outside. I look like a drowned mess of sweat. And all of a sudden he's like,
but you wear a lot of makeup, so what's the difference?
But no, I literally had like sweat stains all over. Like I was a mess. And he's like, you want to do this video? No, I don't want to do this video.
I didn't drop the camera. So I had it set up on the stand.
Honey.
And I was dragging a tree branch. And one of the limbs.
It's the usual you trying to do couple things at one time, and and there's nothing wrong. Accidents happen, and we have insurance, and it's fine.
Yes.
But just admit you were being rushy and trying to do too many things at one time.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all we need to say. Moving on, and there's glass in your arm here now.
So I had the camera set up on the stand in front of the house, and one of the tree limbs as I was dragging it caught the camera tripod.
Oh.
And knocked it over.
Chris, if he had the neck strap on so he couldn't drop it,
I'd lose the camera.
No, there would be some way that he'd get the neck strap around some object like a tree branch or something. He'd end up choking himself with his camera. I just guarantee it.
So
it's just not safe.
The camera fell, and it was literally like, start filling in the blank. I was actually, I was too tired and a little bit in shock when it happened.
Yeah, and we didn't get things like, oh, honey, can you make sure this is insured? And then keep in mind, we didn't have internet, so I couldn't look up the insurance policy. So I'm literally walking like up and down the street to try to get like a connection to call the company for the insurance. It was a really, really fine day.
So then, when things settled down and calmed down, we looked at the camera itself and the lens, and we figured out that the lens protector that she got worked and protected the lens. The issue was, do you have the lens? Show me the lens.
Can we
let's see if, I'm not sure if it could pick this up.
Don't be easy.
Can you guys see?
They really can't.
I don't know, you guys can't see it. What happened was, when it hit the lens. The lens took the brunt of the bring, and like, obviously the lens is a circle. It put a dent in the lens itself. So it was holding the protective lens in. We couldn't spin it out. So obviously if I wanted to do some work to it, I could probably get it out. Mrs. Pate's performance, besides picking out a good camera, she decided, very, very smart of her, she took out insurance on everything, soup to nuts. So when she reached out to the insurance company, it was a very easy peasy, process. They didn't care about the story. They just says, all right, listen, here's shipping labels. My wife actually told them what happened. So they asked if we were okay, which was like, whatever. But when we told them that it was just the lens, they says, you know what? Send the camera too. So we're going to be sending everything, and whatever, happens, happens.
In
They told
talking,
us.
she said, in talking to the representative, he said, it's insured, send it. We could look inside and make sure. He goes, and to be quite honest with you, he goes, I'm going to put in the record that, quite frankly, you should just get a new camera. So
Okay,
I said,
it is what
sure.
it is. It's insurance.
I will say, I don't know where, outside of the United States, what you guys have available, but here in the United States, not only is for technology, but even my outdoor deck furniture is insured with something called Assurion, Asurion. I had issues with like my patio furniture, like, the big umbrellas. It was a little faded. And the insurance from Insurion, when I bought my umbrellas for my back deck, I think it was like $5 or $6 when I bought the umbrellas. Do you know, I've literally over the last couple of years gotten like 4 new umbrellas, and I think the insurance was like a couple bucks. For his cameras, the insurance on his lens was like $30, and the lens was $600, and they're sending out a brand new lens. Assurion, the insurance is not a lot, and we've got it for years, and there's no questions asked. I mean, they couldn't have been easier about it, so it's worth it.
Oh, they're the ones who insure our TVs insured too.
Yeah.
Through them. It was
Yeah.
cheaper to insure it through Assurion. That was like
through
10
the
years ago
manufacturer.
than compared to buying it when we bought our TV at PC Richards. So that's that. So I have a lot of preloaded videos on YouTube. The issue is that I never edited them in the sense that I need to go through my video, do a description, put all my links in if there's links in there, and call it a day. So I'm going to try and do that on Sunday so I can give you guys some content. But until then, it is what it is. So someone mentioned that our cell phones are a hotspot.
Yes, and I tried connecting with that yesterday. I'm having issues with that
So
too.
the issue is that
Damn
we have no Wi-Fi. We do have cell phone service, but it's very limited. Usually inside our home.
Texting and calls is no problem.
Usually we have excellent service inside our home, whether we have Wi-Fi or not.
Yeah.
But now, because of everything that's going on, I think maybe a couple of cell phone towers, or I don't know how that stuff works, is knocked down. Cell phone service is very, limited.
And it depends. Like last night, for example, he was like, how are you all over your internet? I was in the house, and I would say from like 9 o'clock on, my internet service was just fine without the Wi-Fi on.
Yeah, it's very hit.
It depends on like when of the day.
Everybody's home who's so. We have no idea. So as far as trying to turn our phone into a hotspot, it's just, if we have bad cell service, trying to turn into a hotspot is going to make it even worse. That's why when I did that live in the driveway, it was kind of it was a test for us to see if we can go live on Saturday. Last week we didn't go live because I had work, and we made a very short shot is not so expensive, but when this happens again, it's not so bad. Yeah. So we decided that she did live on her own. She did a fantastic job. You guys were great as well. Thank you guys so much. TechSpark came up on the panel. Fantastic. We decided that Pat Case Performance is us together, and that she did the giveaway as well that day. So next time, every time we go live, it's always going to be the two of us or me, and we'll go from there. But hopefully the next time we go live, it'll be from StreamYard, and we could have pictures and all that stuff going. But I still have to cover, we have a lot of, even now with the generators and stuff like that, don't believe anybody. It's like, come on, man, whether you lie to me or not, it doesn't make a difference. The machine will never lie. You could sit there and say whatever you want, but once I start diving into that machine, what you're saying is not true. And this last customer with the Toro lawnmower, the way he lied to me, he said that he's just a lying sack of shit. It's like, and then I was so aggravated, like I called him out on it, and the way he tried to cover himself was just like, you're a fool. Yeah. You're a fool.
Well, we have I'm not going to mention any details, but there's a current situation with an item where the person is lying about using it, and now feeling that he can stop by the house whenever he wants to. He'll try to call him, and if he's working, he will not call you back until he's done working. I mean, work comes first, and it And
It wasn't him, it was his brother.
well, his brother, but
Guilty by association.
exactly. And so I told the mister, I said, in my eyes, you have one of two ways to handle this. I said, either way, fix the machine. I said, because there's no way it wasn't used. You know it was used. They're claiming that they didn't even touch the machine since the last time he saw it. So now all of a sudden it's not working. And I said to him, but I said, at the end of the day, fix it. And either one of two things. You charge him just for the parts, or the other alternative, you charge him for parts and labor. But either way, you turn around, you tell him any relationship is built on trust and honesty. And that comes with equipment as well. This guy wanted, after his brother did him wrong, he said, buddy, I need you to fix the equipment that we use.
See you later, Uncle Ed.
Can we keep this relationship going? So we said, fine. At the end of the day, a relationship has trust and honesty. He needs to tell him the relationship is over now. Don't come back.
So
don't come back.
So I've been busy doing generator repairs, right? So I am stopping all repair services on anything except generators or chainsaws, even though I hate 2-cycle. If it's not one of those, I am not working on it. We'll talk about it at a later date and time, right? Because now what I'm doing now is I got your generator running, right? I'm telling these people, right, just like a small engine, right, you got to change your oil every 25 hours. Now, I've been putting Royal Purple in people's machines, and I've been telling them, listen, oil is oil. It's 25 hours. Try and get 50 out of it. I'll come back in 3 or 4 days, but you have to call me and authorize me. I'm going to come back. I'm going to service your generator, change the oil, and make sure you're good to go again. And then, do you want to be with this guy who has a hole in his generator and now he has no power? So I've been doing stuff like that. So I was out doing generator stuff, and I'm all mobile now with generators. It's very rare you're going to see me with a generator at the house. I've got 3 missed phone calls from this guy, and I guess maybe 6 to 8 text messages. Are you home? Are you home? Are you home? And I'm busy. I'm not answering. So I happen to just get done for the day, and I pull in, and he pulls in right behind me. And he has his weed whacker.
We don't do business that way.
He had his weed whacker that I fixed like 3 months ago. Oh, I'm having issues with it. You fixed it, and I haven't used it since. I exactly remember what I did to your weed whacker, because I'll never forget the situation that me, his brother, and him had, because his brother was a lunatic and a lying sack of you-know-what. It is what it is. He's a liar. He was backing off. He agreed for me to fix things, and then he said he didn't want me to fix anything, and he changed the price. He said he's going to take the equipment. I'm saying no, and then he said he was going to call the cops. It was a very nasty, ugly situation.
I got dragged into that one with the brother.
Then I said, you know what? You take everything, and I don't ever want to see you and your brother ever again. So then his brother got involved, because when him and his brother came here, we couldn't agree on the price of the equipment. So I told the guy, no problem. I don't want to fix anything. You can take everything. And I put everything back in his pickup truck, and I started to walk away. And then his brother was like, no, fix. So I took everything back out. So we agreed right then and there on the spot. I was going to fix everything. Call him up. I says, hey, this is, everything's fixed. This is your bill. He didn't want to pay it. I thought you were paying this much. So this is not how it works. So then I played a little tough. And he says, when he said he was going to call the cops, he says, you can call the cops all you want. I says, you don't have no receipt. You have no records that you were here. I was like, do you have any receipts that these pieces of equipment? I was playing a little hardball. So then, his wife was screaming in the background. Then the brother came, and I told the brother, you guys aren't here welcome no more. But I ended up getting paid, and we kind of put things to the side. So then he came with his weed whacker. What a big emergency. We're in the middle of.
I said to him the other day, I said, did my husband call you back when you called?
Yeah, she was mad.
And he goes, no. I said, so you just show up at our home with no welcome call back? And he went dead silent. I said, you don't come to this house without someone calling you back first. That's not how this works. And he said nothing.
Yeah.
Well, this time around, when he comes back, I'm going to let him know that this is the last time he's going to be walking up this driveway. You're not welcome back here.
So the weed whacker it came in for, his weed whacker wouldn't run. The fuel lines are broken, the grommet was dried out, and the air filter was clogged. So I did new air filter and new fuel lines and a grommet and the fuel filter. Things started ran great. Now it came back with, it died when you hit the throttle. All right, no problem. He's telling me, oh, when you fix it, I hadn't used it since in 3 months. Well, guess what? The machine never lies. Here, let me go get the air filter. Here. Oh,
You got to check out the socks and the sandals. He's like my grandfather, but in his 30s. I just need to put some dress shoes on him with those socks. Look at this get up. He's all mine. He's all mine.
So this is his weed whacker. It's an older Echo. And you guys can't see, but watch. He said he hasn't used it in 2-3 months, right? Remember, I put a brand new air filter on here. Just remember.
He said he never touched it.
He hasn't touched it since I fixed it.
No, wait. And the best part of the story, the day he came, you know what he said? He goes, I've been working 70, 75-hour weeks. Today was the first day because of the storm that I haven't worked. You haven't worked using this weed whacker once with a 70, 75-hour week? You just gave away half of your wild card, dude. Come on.
So check this out.
Look at this air filter now.
Can you guys see that? Wait, so that's dirt. And look at the sides.
Look how nasty that is.
Does that look like he just used it? Or he said he hasn't used it
Hasn't used it since it was fixed.
Now you guys also know, right? You guys also know that when I give somebody back their equipment, I also clean it before I give it back to them.
I love to see you bend over while you work. Drink it in, boys.
Show this. Look, where's the head of the weed whacker? It's missing. So what do you mean you haven't used it?
If this was Judge Judy, she'd have something to say, don't you think? Who's that lady?
Can we do the thumbnail for the live? Can we do that?
I know what you're thinking. How does she control herself all day long married to him?
I know. This is why she always wants to jump my bones. Are you sure it's the same trimmer?
Pate's Performance just got a new king-size bed, by the way.
So, are you sure it's the same trimmer? Yes. It is the same one.
You would think it's not, right?
Mm-hmm. So, it'll be an awkward situation because he thinks it's going to be free, but I had to put a carburetor on there. And I know Ken doesn't like these, but it's an aftermarket carburetor I put on there. So, I don't know if I'm going to bang him over the head or just like, listen, give me $25 and I'll never see you ever again.
We both talked. I'm at the point where it's like...
We didn't talk. She made the decision.
At the end, here's my thing. I don't want your dirty money. I don't want your lies. I don't want you... You know what it is?
I can't stand that. I don't know
I don't want you walking up my driveway as he comes home calling, and then all of a sudden you show up because that's what you feel like you're controlling the situation, and then you lie when you show up. Poppy, that's not how we do business here. So I almost want to charge just something, anything. You want to seal that. No. You want to seal that transaction. Get it done. There needs to be an exchange. But now we're done now. Goodbye.
Don't pee on my leg and tell me it's raining.
Exactly.
I always charge something.
Exactly.
So I agree, Uncle Arch. Uncle Arch, I really do agree with that. But this guy, I said it got really ugly between me, him, and his brother. I mean, I can't tell you how ugly it got. Like I said, the cops were going to be called. Like I said, I had a little bit of a backbone. I played a card I shouldn't have, but I mean, it is what it is. I don't like doing that. I don't want to be labeled that person. But, it is what it is.
Oh my God, some guy on a bicycle just almost like rode into the back of someone's truck before.
Mm-hmm. So...
I almost feel like the camera needs to be the other way.
So I had to do a tune-up on his machine. Now, maybe Ken would know and Uncle Arch would know, maybe some of you guys know in the chat, right? I buy aftermarket carburetors for Echo, but I also get the entire kit, where it's the carburetor, the primer bulb, the spark plug, the air filter. Now, I fix and flip. If the fuel lines are squishy, which means they're still good, I will not use the grommet, the filter, and the line kit that came. I'll just slap a carburetor on there. I'll clean the air filter really nice, and the machine runs. So I'm not going to change out the spark plug, and I'll sell it. So now I have a spark plug, fuel lines, tank grommet, fuel filter. And any extra primer bulbs. I keep that for myself. So when he needed a tune-up on his machine, it didn't cost me anything. It actually, so I already, I did good. I did real good on that part. They don't last long. I know you say they don't last long. But for the most part, when I fix something and I resell it, I never see it ever again. Sorry.
And with this guy, I don't care if the quality is below SUCKS.
But I have one guy that I did a repair, and I've known him for 2 years, and it hasn't gone back. I use one of those carb kits on like a small Echo PB265 LN backpack blower. It's a glorified handheld leaf blower that they put backpack straps on. It's been 2 years. I haven't heard from him since. And he uses it every week. So maybe, I don't know. We're running the gamut. So I think I might just be like, listen, man, just here's $25. I just needed a carburetor. Just pay for the, 5 minutes to pay it. If I charge him, he won't. It's going to be an argument, and I don't want to go down that road again.
And Vic, I hear where you're coming from. Trust me, I do.
If we had
with this one, you want to charge something with this, and you just want to be done with it. And honestly, the greater payoff for us is going to be the look on his face when he knows at the end of the day you're not coming back. You're done.
I don't think we're just gonna ignore him. It's that busy.
Oh no. I'm glad you're feeling that way, but that's not how that's going down.
No, let's not have confrontation in front of a home. I can't stand that.
There's a polite way to say things, because let me tell you something.
Oh my God.
He's never going to bring his crap to one of these shops, first of all, at the prices that he was being charged. With that attitude, they would tell him to take his equipment, him and his brother, leave the store. And he's never getting his equipment back in a couple of days. Not a chance. This guy wants his stuff back fast. He wants to threaten people for the prices he wants. Good luck. Good luck finding someone to fix your things.
He's not done with us. He came to us even after that whole situation, and he was very adamant that everything, that because of his brother, that we weren't going to cut him off. And we said, no, we're not going to cut you off.
Well, he's met his match when he's now met me, and at the end of the day, let me tell you, when he was here the other day, he quickly shut his mouth when I told him, you don't just stop by this house without getting a confirmed phone call.
Because I called her, I said, listen.
I'm not mean, I'm not nasty. It's called being direct. And it's called respect. You show respect, you get respect. It's a very easy world to live in. And he can help you, and he'll help you as much as he possibly can. And I've dealt with this guy one-on-one before. He's come by in the past, and I've been very, very nice to him. But the minute you disrespect me at my house, you disrespect my husband?
I don't know, you're being dramatic.
Nope, not at all.
You're being very dramatic. Well, then again,
dramatic was how his brother called that day and threatened the way he did.
Yeah, like I said, that was a very nasty situation. That was probably the ugliest one we've ever had. Do you think that was?
No.
What do you think?
I can think of one other that we won't get into here, for reasons that I think you understand we won't get into on here.
Yeah, but that was flipping. That wasn't fixing. Oh,
but in general, just nasty circumstances and situations, absolutely.
All right, so that would be number one.
Yeah.
Number two and number three. Number two and number three would be, what about the guy with the lawnmower? That he said that it stopped working, and that if he remembered where we lived, he put it through our front window. Do you think that was worse than that?
You dealt with him a lot more, and I think if I would have gotten involved, I don't think it would have lasted as long. Here's the thing.
We've spoken about this in the past.
He tends to get a little hot-headed,
Yeah, I get
And
aggravated very easily because people just don't understand.
wait, are you referring to the one that has a new location? The orange one?
No.
Oh, because we have that one too. That got nice and ugly.
All right, so where do you think this falls in?
Jeez. I would say there's probably a good top 5. There's a number 1
Well, there's
that
top
we
5
just
because we've only probably had 5 instances. Hello?
There's definitely a 1 that we will not get into
Okay,
for
so
many
what's number
reasons.
2?
Maybe the one you're speaking of, your incident. And I would say like there's 3 that are tied for number 3.
Right, so that's number. Yeah, we can't talk about. We can't. We won't. Hello, how are you? How's everything? So number 2, we actually can't talk about number 1, and we can't talk about number 2. What's number 3 then?
Weed
That's number
whacker.
2. No, number 1, number 2.
Number
Orange
1.
with the new location we can't talk about. Yeah, maybe 5 or 10 years. We'll be here 5 or 10
Well,
years.
number 1 that cost about $6,000 to fix. That we won't talk about.
You said you just threw numbers out. We're not going to talk about that. Number 2.
Number 2 that has a new location that we can't talk about.
All right, so what's number 3?
It's between that lawnmower one you're talking about through the window.
Mm-hmm.
Orange one. And weed whacker.
Wait. I thought the orange one was number 2.
Oh, you're deeming number 2?
Wait, what's number 2? Hold on, guys. What's number 2? What's number 2?
So maybe it is that one that you're talking about.
All right, let's go with this. Number 1 is what we can't talk about. Number 2 we can't talk about with is orange.
Okay, so maybe number 3 is your lawnmower one, and number 4 is weed whacker.
All right, so let's just do a brief synopsis of what happened. So you guys just knew about what happened with the weed whacker, right? So that's your get-go. You guys knew about the weed whacker and the backpack blower and the cops, whatever. The tie that she thinks is, I'll repeat this over again.
Well, let's be honest. Weed whacker hasn't come back yet to know his fate. He can maybe make his way higher up on the list. We don't know how this is going down yet.
As of right now. So the tie for number 3 is, let's go down this path. I wonder if I still have to go through my phone, see if I still have, no, you actually know what? I shared his stuff on Facebook, so I have to go through my Facebook and I could pull when I used to sell out of the house.
MC2 wheels, you're right. When dealing with customers, there are a lot of number 2s out there. There are a lot. And you know what the sad part about it is? Your hands are also extremely tied when you're not a business.
To sell out of the house. Now, sometimes I'm so busy, right? I would sell out of my house, but I would put everything away. You'd come to our house like a driveway, but I do. You would never know Pate's Performance exists. Sometimes in the middle of heat, in the spring sprint or whatever, I can't stop what I'm doing. So I got this lawnmower. I got it running and driving. Wow. I got it running and mowing for a stupid cheap price. All I had to do was service it, clean it, and sell it. Very easy. I didn't have to do any repairs. So the guy came and saw me in all my glory, what I'm doing, and he paid for it. He was a very nice guy. We had a nice conversation, and he was like, listen, I want a snowblower. I said, listen, man, I have snowblowers. He picked one out. And I says, okay. And he says, give me, like a couple weeks. I says, okay, no problem. I ended up selling it to somebody else. No problem. I already know I have a buyer lined up. I'm just going to go out and get another one. That's the beauty. I even have a book that I keep track of. People want something. I come across it. I give them a call and say, hey, this is what I got. They say no, they got something or whatever. So I ended up getting another snowblower to replace that. And it had electric start. The other one that he wanted didn't have electric start. Don't care. But it's all about, keeping it moving. We're in the middle of summer. He says, listen, even though it has electric start, I'll sell it to you. Same price, no big deal. Then that turned into, I wasn't prepared for you to get me one so quick. I'm like, you told me that you'd be ready in 2 or 3 weeks. I'm here 2 or 3 weeks. So then, haven't heard from him since. 4 months go by. Well, I'm sorry, because, 2, 3 weeks. So 3 months and 1 week go by. And he calls me up and says, hey man, oh, he texts me, I'm sorry, there's no phone call. Says, hey man, listen, the lawnmower you sold me stopped working. But before that, now I'm backtracking with my story. But after I sold him the lawnmower, he cut his grass and he sent me a picture of his lawn saying that this lawnmower is fantastic. His grass never looked better. Thank you so much. It was a economical MTD Yard Machines lawnmower. Your everyday Walmart, Home Depot, Lowe's special with a bag, high wheels in the back. Whatever, man. You're happy, I'm happy. Then that turned into him messaging me three months and 1 week later after the whole snowblower incident saying, hey man, the lawnmower that, you sold me stopped working. Well, when can I bring it off for repair? So in my previous experiences, if I'm backed up, I will not take your machine in. Even if I tell you, listen, it's going to be 2-3 weeks, you know, even if it's at, even though they think it's at my house, they're going to be bothering me every day or every other day saying, did you fix my machine? What's going on with it? So now I won't take in people's machines if I'm backed up. One, I don't want clutter at the house. Number two, I don't want to sit there and say, hey man, listen, I told you 2 or 3 weeks for me to get to the list. So I told him, hey man, listen, we're busy, 2 or 3 weeks. He was like, wow, I wasn't expecting that. So I says, hey man, listen, I'm at a repair shop. I can't have everybody's equipment here. I says, as soon as the slot opens up, I'll give you a call. I did not refuse to work on his machine. So then, well, he starts sending me really, really nasty text messages saying that he brought it to a repair shop and he says, I thought you serviced it. You said it was tuned up. They said it needed to tune up. You're lying sack of you-know-what. He's like, if I remember where you lived, I would put this lawnmower through your front window. And that kind of ever. So, kind of calmed myself down. And then the more I thought about his message, the more aggravated I got. Like, that's a threat. So I tried calling him and he would not answer me. So then I asked him in a text message. I says, what is a tune-up? I want to know. And guess what a tune-up was, right? Oil change, spark plug, air filter, blade sharpened, carburetor cleaned. What do you think was the issue with this lawnmower? Number two, me, I don't know how you guys do it, a carburetor clean is not involved in a tune-up. I tell people all the time when they say, oh, my machine doesn't run, it just needs a tune-up. Tune-up is not going to fix your machine. That is a separate service, a separate charge. So when he told me a carburetor cleaning, I went through the roof. I tried, we ended up nasty, and it's basically, you know what, think about think about how many fingers I'm holding up and which one.
And that was that. I love you.
Yeah. So that is tied for number 3. That lawnmower disaster or the weed whacker backpack blower situation that I guess is, we're going to throw that weed whacker into the backpack blower situation. Who knows? I mean, listen, nothing's easy. If we had a building, it'd be a whole different story. But, as
building a storefront,
we run into this all the time, right? A lot of people ask us, especially, you could wrap up a snowstorm and a hurricane in the same bunch. It's considered an emergency, right? Because we can make noise anytime we want. A lot of people ask if they can rent snow blowers from us. A lot of people ask if they can rent generators from us. And, we won't do that. We don't rent out equipment. We don't. Because we feel we don't trust anybody, as you guys know. That's just the way. You need to trust nobody.
Yeah. Ken just says someone just texted him that he's on his way there. How does he not know I'm in bed?
Yeah.
I agree, Ken. Like,
but we have people come by when I'm not at home.
But here's the thing. But the thing is, someone doesn't get the right to say, I am doing. It is, may I or can I? Other people don't dictate what they're going to do when it comes to your home and your property. It's may I and can I. They would not go to a storefront and Jimmy open the shop door if the shop was closed. I look at it the same way. You don't just go to someone's home and drop something at someone's house. You know how many people will stop at the house and he won't be here, he'll be at work, and if I happen to be home, and they'll say to me, I've got something in my truck, a lawnmower or whatever, and they'll turn around and say to me, I'm just gonna leave it in your driveway. Do you know what my answer is to them? No, you won't. I'll take your phone number. He'll contact you when he's able. I'll take down what they think is wrong with it, the make, the model. I'll play that game with them. You're not just dropping it until he's able to fit you in. Like, no, you're not going to dictate how this is going to go down, because if you went to a storefront, you're not going to tell them how they're going to operate what they do either. That's just not the way it works. But it's funny how people think that they control the situation. It doesn't work that way. I think that's probably what's wrong with a lot of how much of life is handled around the world today, right?
Yeah. So, that's that. So that'll
Poor conversational skills. And I think we live in a world of, what can you do for me?
Entitlement. We were talking about it with the storm. Entitlement.
I went into town the other day to go to the post office, and I go to get into my car, and the internet's not working, so storefronts are only taking cash. And there were people actually arguing with business owners and saying to them, well, you need to take my debit card. You need to fix it. We're all kind of in the same boat here, folks. I'm sorry. As far as I've been alive, I remember back in the day, my mother always saying, you have 20, 40 bucks you carry on you. Always have a little money that you have in the house. You never leave yourself with just your debit card or your credit card for emergencies. So why are you walking around as a grown adult, 20, 40, 50, 60 years old, and you don't have a $20 bill to your name? This guy is yelling at the storefront owner saying, I don't even have $20 at home. It's all in the bank. Well, then I guess you're going to have to walk over to the bank, which was like how many feet away, and withdraw some money from the bank. He wanted the storefront owner to walk over there for him. It's this entitled world we live in. It's
This looks so good.
It's ridiculous. Yes, you're up people's nose, honey. You're up people's nose.
All right. Our phone just said it's going to go to 20%. We're going to call this a wrap. We're on our phones.
Whip up some breakfast.
Yeah. It's good seeing you guys.
It is. I'm glad we were still able to do this.
We're still able to do this. As far as releasing some content, hang in there. I don't know what we can do. We're kind of at helm of what's going on, but irregardless, continue to take care of one another. This is like therapy for us. Roger, Dirty Birdie, everybody, Ken's, Mick, Andrew. Oh, that's right. Remember, we didn't go live. Happy birthday, Andrew Thomas. Andrew Thomas' birthday was last week.
Thomas Andrews?
Thomas Andrews, I'm sorry.
He works with an Andrew Thomas. I'm sorry.
Thomas, you
and
ready?
His name is Andrew Thomas.
You ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Thomas.
He'll even show a little
skin.
Happy
birthday to you. One love. Continue to take care of one another. Mm-hmm. Those that are affected, those are not. Who knows what's going on with the second wave? Continue to stay safe. Continue to take care of each other.
Yeah.
We absolutely love each and every one of you. We always appreciate you guys, taking the time to watch our videos and comment and coming on our lives. We really, really enjoy, doing this for sure. And, we couldn't do this without you. Oh, one last thing. Now you got me thinking. Remember in my community chat, right? Bruce Pender asked me a question. Now, Pat Taste Performance is nothing without you guys. So I posted Bruce Pender's question on my community page. So I just want to thank you guys for responding to that and giving my channel substance enough where someone like Bruce Pender can actually respond and give us a really good question. So I want to thank you guys for that. I also want to thank Bruce Pender. That was an excellent question. All right, guys, have a good one. Later.